Okay, thank you so much. I was just providing the story. I didn't move any of the slides. So today's topic I weaved with the project management assistant, which we're going to build on top of Copilot Studio, and we're also going to leverage AI custom AI prompts. Now, what custom AI prompt is, how AI come into the picture in Power Platform. We'll look at it in detail. So, what am I going to cover in today's session? This is what we are going to look at, and don't worry if you don't understand any of the jargons which I might speak, or I'll try to avoid as much as I can. And almost everything will be live on screen, so all the agenda, all the slides are just for your reference so that you can understand and relate with what I'm saying. What I'm going to cover is power of AI in Power Platform. So we'll quickly look into, okay, there is Copilot, there is agent, there is assistant. Now tell me what exactly AI is in Power Platform across all the other suite and products. Either it is Power Automate or Power Apps or Copilot Studio or Power Pages or any of the other Power Platform application. Now, how Copilot Studio comes into the picture, the life cycle of the agent. I would try to skip if this is repetitive, and introduction to AI prompts, overview of Copilot Studio, and then how you can build the custom agent, which I have built today with the help of custom AI prompt, actions, instructions, everything. And we'll just start cooking already. We have all the ingredients, and just we need a playground to start cooking our recipe. So we'll do that. Coming to AI in Power Platform. Now, AI is artificial intelligence, but we are hearing the constant buzzword, which is Copilot, at least in Microsoft ecosystem I'm talking about. While if you speak or if you talk about Google, there is Gemini, there is Vertex. If you talk about Meta, there is Meta AI. There are different AI assistant tools which you can leverage. Keeping the scope to Microsoft, you will hear Copilot a lot. Either you go to Power Platform, either you go to the M365 space, or Azure, or security, or Dynamics 365. Everywhere you will see the word or an assistant called Copilot. Now, what exactly Copilot is? To summarize, Copilot is just an assistant. Now, whenever you use this assistant, the assistant will be used in some or the other product. For example, take Microsoft 365 chat. In the Microsoft 365 chat, you see the Copilot chat, which is a Copilot. What exactly it is helping you with, right? It is just an assistant. It is helping you find the people, find the files, meetings, or work-related data. Or if you are using your personal Copilot, which is not which does not have any license, still that is an assistant. It is helping you build content, generate some fancy data, or some creative content, or maybe a music or some or the other thing. So to summarize, Copilot, wherever you hear the word Copilot, you just straight away tag it with an assistant. Either it is Power Platform or M365 or any other tool or product in Microsoft. Even in Azure, there is a Copilot which helps you to do some tasks, maybe create a resources or add data to the table in SQL, all of those stuff. Just an assistant. Similarly, we have a Copilot in Power Automate. As you can see from the screen, the image, what it helps you to do is you just draft in or put a prompt which says, okay, whenever an email receives from probably Shushti, then send this, analyze the data, find the important points from the email and just send it to her manager. Okay, maybe there is some one-on-one meeting which keeps on happening with my manager and I want him to be updated about whatever we discussed. So this is a simple prompt which you put in and it will straight away create a Power Automate flow for you, and you can just configure it with the configurations like whose email should it read to, all these settings and configuration you can do, and then you are good to go. That is what Copilot helps you to do in Power Automate. Same goes for Copilot in Power Apps. You can see this big box at the top. You just describe, okay, I want to build an application. This application can be, for example, a movie ticket booking application. Okay. And you just describe the prompt that, hey, these are the movies. There should be a movie table. There should be a people table. There should be a table which lists out all the actors, co-actors, everything. And you get a fancy three table already created for you. You get the application with some pre-populated controls like gallery or data table or anything, and you get that in hand created for you. Now it is up to you to enhance it further and to make some changes. This is what Copilot helps you to do in Power Apps. Same goes for Power Pages, and that is just a simple thing which I wanted to talk about. Okay, what exactly Copilot is. Now let's go to the screen, and I'll go to the Power Platform, and I'll come back to my slides again. Okay, so as you can see, my home, this right now I'm using the latest new experience. Maybe you might not have this capability in your tenant, so don't worry. These are the new changes which are coming up in my tenant right now. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to show you what Copilot is. Copilot is just an assistant. And maybe now I don't have any idea. Okay, on top of my mind, I just can think of, hey, I am looking to create a event management application. Can you help me build that? And as soon as I hit enter, I have not even provided the details like, okay, this table, this column, nothing. It just takes the problem and then it tries to analyze, okay, for movie or event management, these all things will be needed. These are the personas who will play the role for this application. And these are the tables, maybe one table, two table, relational, all those things. And as you can see, this full plan on a page is provided to me like, okay, this is for this problem. These three personas might play a role. If you want, you can edit it as well. And even the details, this is the purpose, these are the requirements, and these are the three vendors. And does this sound good? I'll say, okay, looks good. And it is now working on the data model. I am not even doing a single thing. Everything is done by AI, where it analyzes my problem. It tries to create a proper plan. Maybe that plan is not correct one, but this is just a draft plan, which is helping me weaving my thoughts. Okay, now I need some other persona. Now I need manager. Now I need a theater booking application or something. If movie is the context. Right now we are in event. So you see the data model, and it has created a data model as well with multiple tables like event, organizer, attendee, vendor, RSVP, task, and all these things. Now this looks good to me. I'll say, okay, this looks good. And now it is telling me what technology or what integrations will I have to make. So just stay in for a minute. And let it do its job. Now, if you analyze that, okay, what it is telling me to do, that for this particular project, you might need a Canvas app, which will be an interface for your event management. You might need a model-driven app, which is to track the performance of the event. Again, vendor management, attendee event application, which is a canvas, a Power Automate flow, which might send the reminders that, okay, the event is 7 days near, the event is 5 days near, the event is 1 day near, all those configurations, and another Power Automate flow regarding the payment for the vendor. At least for now, I'll say, okay, this looks good. And it has also put it this plan in the canvas with the draft, with the applications. Now, what it is saying is, okay, I have built this for you. Do you want to save the tables, which the AI has generated on itself? I'll say save the tables. And it is creating the tables for me. And it is saying that, okay, what solution do you want to create? I'll just go with the default. Just hit save. And the tables will be saved. The idea you have in place, each idea will create a draft application or a draft flow for you. So let's just wait. These tables are saving. And you also see that there is another describe box. For example, if you want this to be updated, maybe I forgot to add some more context and now I want to add more context and you want to refine this plan in more detail, you can do that any point of time here. For each layer, you see there's a Copilot, and this page is a Copilot page, and this is what it is open. You can see the overview and all the other details. Once the table, the saving is done, you will have all the tables in place. You will have the applications and everything ready. All you need to do is just hit save button at the end. My intent is not to go and show how to build applications using this Copilot. Intent is to show what Copilot helps you to do. It helps you increase your productivity. It helps you to create that plan. Okay, now what next should I do? Maybe you are just starting out your Power Apps journey and you don't know what tables is, what Canvas app is, how does that look. You want some AI helping hand, and this is what it helps you to do. It just provides you one another. It is not now a blank canvas anymore. It is a canvas with a draft version, and now it is up to you to take that ahead and build more on top of it, more complex scenarios. So now this is done. You can save it and you can come out of it as well. I'll now go back to our story. Coming back to the Power Automate again, just so that you are aware of what I'm speaking about. Same interface, same box, you will find it in the Power Automate, wherein you can describe. Okay, let me just search make dot. powerautomate.com. And this is a describe box. If you don't have any idea, just like me right now, I will quickly, I have an automation requirement where whenever a file is created in SharePoint, I want to send an approval to a persona based on the approval status. The message should be posted in Teams channel. I am specifically making some mistakes so you are aware, okay, how this AI works. Now I'll hit generate and it will create a draft Power Automate flow for me, just with the help of that simple description which I have provided. See, when a file is created is a trigger, approval, waiting, posting a message, everything is sorted. All you need to do is just, if you hit keep and continue, the configurations you have to make with your connection, you create an automation, and then just you need to configure the inputs and outputs. That's it. Your flow is ready for you. Which SharePoint, which folder, all those configurations, which approval status, approved or rejected, what should happen, you can tweak more changes. So this is what Copilot helps you to do. If let's say I want to add more, I want to extend this further, still you have the Copilot panel available. You can keep on making those changes, saying that, hey, this condition needs to be approved. I need a condition layer as well. I need a condition where only the approval, if that is approved, then send a message. Right now, the condition is not in place. So I'll ask Copilot that, hey, you did a job, but still it needs more refinement. Can you do something more for me, like adding a condition, saying that, okay, if the approval is approved, only then this should go. Now, still it is not correct. You can just place it in the correct way, and you have your flow ready. You can configure and you can just make it working. So this is what Copilot is in Power Apps, in Power Automate. Along, what it helps you to do is it helps you to make flow better, and it helps in the application to make your app look better with more controls and everything. You can ask Copilot to add screens, to add controls, to update the look and feel of the application. You can do that. Also, it helps you to create a plan if you don't have any plan in place. A plan on a page with tables and every other details. Now, coming back to our slides, I'll not spend more time in Copilot assistance. Our agenda is slightly different. Now that you understand that, okay, what Copilot is in Power Platform, now where is this AI prompt? What is AI prompt and what I can do with AI prompts? What exactly Power Platform provides is, just like in Azure, you have cognitive services, which are now called as AI services. In AI service, you find computer vision, you find language model, you'll be able to find more cognitive services like search, translation, language, text, images, audio, video, speech, all those, right? Same thing, Power Platform also provides you. How it provides you? In Power Platform, there is a service called AI Builder. Now, AI Builder is where you go ahead, you process your document, you process your language translations, you can process your images, all those things you can do. Then why not you can process text with the help of GPT models? That should also be there, right, in Power Platform. Hence, what Microsoft did is they provided a new home for all your GPT, all your text processing models under AI prompts. Now, what AI prompts does is you can go ahead and do anything with text. For example, I have a detailed document of which you are able to extract text. For example, I am using my document processing model to fetch the details from the document and do the extraction from the document. For example, the document is an invoice. You are fetching out the customer, vendor, all those details, and you're putting the table. That you are able to do. Now, let's say my document is not in a particular format. My document is text heavy. Maybe a Word document wherein there is a detailed description about the project. You have the project user guide, technical guide, manuals, all the error codes. You take it any product, you take it any project, there will be a multiple documentation. Now, how you can generate value from those documents? That is where text type of models, which are GPT models, come into the picture. Wherein what you can do is you pass on all these text to the GPT model. Consider GPT 4.0, which is the latest model. It can expect text or your images as the input, right? You pass on this information and you provide a detailed prompt. What do you want to do with this text? And then it will help you with that information. And based on that information, you can either, use this prompt in Power Apps or Power Automate or anywhere. Now that is what we're going to look into. AI prompts, as I mentioned, this is a playground which is bridging the gap with your AI Foundry or your OpenAI models and to your Power Platform. How? Let's take a look at in detail. So again, I am in my Power Platform. In the Power Platform, you go to the make.powerapps.com. In the More section, you should be able to find, go to Discover All. You will see the AI Hub. Now we say AI Hub because no longer it is just AI document processing, image processing model. It also includes your text details, text models. You go to the AI Hub and you see there are few things now, not just models, but also prompts. Okay. In the models, this is same as what you find in Azure AI Service. Rather, it is your processing of text, document, structured data, images, all those models are still available. And if you have a requirement for custom models, just like, maybe there is a different format of text which you want to deal with, a different format of document which you want to deal with, and you want this model to run on that particular document, and you want to extract some information, and you want to use this information in any which ways, right? Hence, you go ahead and create a custom model, or you can leverage the pre-built models. Similarly, now there is a scope for GPT models. I'll go back and I'll go to the prompts. See, these are the prompts and there are predefined templates available as well. This template repository keeps on increasing. So what Microsoft does is it tries to analyze the gap. Okay, majority of the users are finding this useful and all the organizations are using this particular custom prompt widely. And what they do is they make that custom prompt as your pre-built prompt. For example, text anonymization and reduction. So what happens is whenever you provide a text, right? You provided some text, maybe this is my address, this is my mobile number, something like that, and you want this to be anonymized. Probably you just want that, okay, this particular text should be hidden or masked. Now how you can do that? You can go ahead and do that using our prompt, custom prompt. So anything you want to deal with texts or images or where you want your AI layer to be added, you can go ahead and leverage AI prompts. So you can see this is how your prompt interface looks like, wherein you need to provide an instruction saying that, hey, given a text that contains sensitive information like address, personal details, card details, or anything, you need to ensure that the privacy of the individual is protected while preserving the overall meaning of the coherence of the text. Now you see the text. This is detailed text which is provided. As soon as I hit test, you will be able to analyze what difference it is making. I'll show you the sample data in a quick minute. Okay. Now, what it did is, this is very important for enterprise organizations, right? What we ideally do, when we use any AI assistant tool, we work as duality. Duality means I have a project, maybe Mars. In my organization, we say Mars, but I don't want to reveal the name Mars to AI assistant. So what I'll do is I'll keep it dual name. I'll say generic. I have a project, maybe XYZ. We put it XYZ. And in the project, I am dealing with a scenario where I work with confidential data, which deals with the personal details of a user or of an employee. And that is how you personalize or you generalize that information. Hence, the same thing is done by this particular scenario, wherein if you now look at the text, and I'll now show you, see this text wherein the detailed personal information was put it out, and this information is coming from some particular data source, maybe Dataverse, maybe some data source like search on Azure or blob storage or anywhere. This can come from anywhere. Right now we are putting a text sample data, and you want this to be secured. How you can do that? With the help of custom AI prompt, just with the help of instructions. What we achieved is there is some sensitive information. Now what you are doing is replacing individuals with employee and all those things. Now if you see this thing here, the whole output is modified. See, this is a full resume which is built now, but with the generalized information and no personal information is showcased. This is how custom scenarios occur, right? And hence we use model. Now you would say, okay, I want to use maybe 3.5, I want to use some 4.0, 4.1 or some latest model. How I can go ahead and do that? So here there is a prompt selection library wherein you can use 4.0 mini, 4.0 or the latest premium version, which is O1, recently which Microsoft has released. You can currently choose between these options only. 4.0 mini is performing a specific task wherein you can only deal with text, or you can use, as soon as I hit slash, you'll be able to see that, okay, what dynamic variables I can deal with. I can have the inputs from data was table. I can have input as text, image, or document. Also a power fx formula. You can have that as well in place as a variable. So now what you can do is, it's no longer just a static value. You can also have a dynamic value, but on that value as well, you can have a condition, validation in place, which will be a formula and which will do that job, which will have a value. After the formula functions, you can have any extracted value and then it will function. So now you have a function as well, which can be used as a variable. Now that you have understood about which models you can use, you understood about the variables, how you can add content. So for example, I showed you, right? You want to add variables, you can just go ahead and add, and I can just quickly say, okay, I want to add another text. This text is a personal address detail, maybe, okay? And you can provide the sample data so that if you want to validate in the screen, this is a test screen wherein you can see, okay, whether this is working fine or not. You can just put some sample data, you can close. Now this is your variable. What more information do you see on the prompt page is settings. Now, this is important. Whenever you use any GPT models, GPT model has some of the properties and configuration. That is, configurations like temperature and record retrieval. Ideally, consider a scenario wherein I'm trying to generate something, but the generation number, I don't want 1. Ideally, we always want 1, the one output, which is the correct output. But let's say for my scenario, I want to generate a 5 prompts. Maybe I'm creating an application which is a prompt library for my users in Power Platform, wherein they put any scenario, and for that scenario they get 5 sample prompts. That is my example. So for such cases, I'm using that prompt, taking that query from the user from the Power Apps and sending them back the 5 or maybe a 10 prompt, which they can go ahead and start playing with the tool like M365 Chat or any other Copilot tool. For that reason, my record retrieval should go high, and it should not be just 1. So that record retrieval, how many number of records do you want your GPT to send back to the user, and that you can configure here. You can also configure customized one, and you can also configure it howsoever you want. Do you want your records to include links? So what happens is, at times we provide knowledge, which is either your enterprise knowledge or it is your public website knowledge, and it uses that knowledge to generate that response for you. And for that matter, right now you don't see any citations that from where this was generated. We don't know, right? If you click include links in the response, you start seeing, okay, for this particular generation, was there any layer which was already sitting on website on web sources? If yes, then it will fetch the citation for you as well. And if citation, if you want to use for your orchestration, either Power Apps, Power Automate, you go ahead and include that. Right now, I don't want to include any citations. These are the simple settings. Now, temperature is important. Temperature means the higher the temperature, the more diverse or creative the response is. Means we should always keep the temperature as 0 whenever you want the most accurate response. Right? For example, for this particular prompt which I have drafted here with the instructions, I want the most accurate response this GPT should generate for me. Then you should keep your temperature to the minimum. The more higher, the more creative and diverse, which means the more inappropriate or inaccurate the response would be. But for creative people like artists and all, they would want this to be more higher, because that is where this AI will come into the picture, and AI will help it with its own beauty, right? Wherein you need multiple scenarios for the same instruction, you might need a diverse kind of perspective. Hence, you will keep the temperature too high. But in cases where you're dealing with code, where you're dealing with uh, accurate responses, that is where you need to keep your temperature as 0 or the minimum. Now you see that this was for the input which I talked about, but for the output, I don't want text always. I deal with Power Automate flows, I deal with Power Apps, wherein I need a JSON object as my output. How can I get that? You can get that as well. If you say JSON, then you'll get the output in the JSON that you can configure. And you can also configure the output settings, just like how we have input settings. If you have a sample schema of how this JSON should look like, you can provide that, and it will exactly try to generate in that particular manner. For example, my JSON should have a title and a description for all the prompts which I would want to generate. So it will provide you in that manner, and you can use this in your Power Automate flow, in your Power Apps, or anywhere. So this is what custom AI prompt is. Now, whatever we saw was just a pre-built prompt. Keep in mind, we just used a prompt which was already provided by Microsoft. We didn't do anything of our own, right? You can also filter. There are multiple prompts. You can straight away leverage all those. But let's say I have a scenario. Now I'll go to my scenario. Project Assistant. Now, what you are seeing here is I have created my own prompt. This was not provided by Microsoft. I'm not using the pre-built one. This particular assistant, this particular prompt is acting as a project management assistant, and it is designed to support project managers by analyzing few things. One, the project related data. The other is maybe user have some query. Against that, you need to analyze and provide the information to the user. Now, what this assistant will do is it has to perform this thing. It has to analyze the pending task, the issues, the action items for the project manager, and it should keep in mind all these things. The output should be structured in tabular format so that the managers can quickly copy it and put it in the Excel, and they have it in place. They don't have to copy paste, right? They just can copy the table and put it in the Excel. The data is there, because ideally majority of the project managers still uses Excel for their management related tasks. Important thing to highlight here is what this agent should not do. This agent should not be acting as a project manager itself. It should not provide information related to the policies, because I have not provided any data or any instruction on policies. So it should not go ahead and start relating with the policy, with budget, with cost. It should not do all these things. Let me quickly test this. What I've done is I've put it a query. What is the Power Platform Adoption Project? I just put it a simple query, and this knowledge has the knowledge of the project adoption, whatever the project is doing. I'll quickly test. Let's wait. Okay. Now that you see, what I just got is a detailed response saying that the Power Platform Adoption Project, the project details which I have filled in here, this is the overview. These are the key components, governance and guidelines, technical, demand, user guide, all these things are present. Again, it is saying me that, okay, these are the pending tasks. These are the issues which have been highlighted. These are the action items. And these are the recommendations which you should take. This whole detailed summary to a project manager can help a lot, because they don't have in and out understanding of the project document which is shared, as it is purely technical, and they are non-technical people. They are functional technical, right? So they'll not be able to understand whatever we are doing, but they'll understand, okay, these are the tasks which are still pending. These are the action items which I need to take so that I can set up the meetings with the stakeholders, whomsoever is involved. You can see the name, you can see the timeline, every particular thing, whatever was there. What I did is I just used GPT-4o. I used 4o because I wanted it to be more deep reasoning kind of functionality, when it just provides recommendations as well based on just the knowledge is provided. I'm using straightforward text as the output, nothing else. The other configuration settings are still the same. The temperature is 0, record retrieval is set to minimum, and the output is text. Now, how you can use this in your real life use cases. Maybe this is the simplest thing which you can, you can go ahead and build like a custom prompt. But where this will be used in an enterprise wide, right? Where this use case can be used. Then let's go ahead and take a look at that. But before we take a look at that, you need to understand I am using this in the Copilot agent, and this Copilot is built in Copilot Studio. So now we are slightly going towards from AI to the important ingredient, which is the custom prompt. I have the custom prompt. Now I want to build an agent, which is going to be helping to my project manager. And my agent is called Planwise. So I'll come to my agent. And this particular prompt, I'm going to consume, this particular AI prompt, I'm going to consume in my agent. So this is my Planwise agent. But before I go there, let's go to the agents and understand what agent is about. I am sure you might already by far you know what agents is, but I'll quickly give you a short walkthrough. What Copilot Studio helps you to do is, this is no longer definitely what Copilot Studio helps you to do is it helps you to create agents, which are the custom agents, which you can build. You can have data which is grounded in SharePoint, your own documents, or on Azure, or search, or index, anything. You can have your data anywhere. But this agent platform was for low-code, no-code developers, which are citizen developers. Definitely you can go ahead and build agents which are simple and all of those things, but you can straight away go ahead and build enterprise wide applications or agents as well, which will be deployed to your teams, and they can straight away start getting coding assistant, or maybe assistant for your project manager, or assistant for your technical team, or Python, or anything. You can go ahead and straight away build such agents as well. Maybe those agents are enterprise agents. You can go ahead and build those as well. How you can build that? Those agents are not just doing the retrieval. Retrieval means there are 3 categories of agents which come into the picture when we talk about Copilot Studio. So let me go ahead and create a agent which I have right now. I'll quickly pick that up. Otherwise, it will take few minutes to spin up. This agent is just a one agent. As soon as you go ahead and click on create agent, it will create one sample, a blank canvas for you. Now you need to go ahead and go to the settings. In the settings, there is a generative AI layer. You see this generative AI. This Copilot Studio previously was called as PowerShell agent, but with this generative AI layer added, this got renamed or revamped to Copilot Studio, wherein this is no longer a chat building or a chatbot building platform. It is a platform where you build agents, which are AI agents, right? Agents which are powered by AI. Now, as soon as I hit generative, which means I can leverage the GPT models, and the Copilot Studio is built on top of your model, same as Azure AI Foundry. The layer of this platform, this product, is your Azure AI Foundry itself. So whatever you see, this
Shristri, hi.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome back. We can proceed now.
Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, generative AI is the one which is adding AI layer to your chat assistants. Now you no longer call them as chat assistants, you call them as agents. Whatever you build in Copilot Studio, those things you call it as, or you name it as agent. And as soon as you add toggle the generative AI on, we'll see how this is more powerful. But there are a few more details here, which is deep reasoning. You are enhancing your agent to a deep reasoning agent. Deep reasoning agent means, for example, you are working in a sales or marketing team where every day you work with detailed proposals. Now you are not a technical person. You only understand the functional thing. Okay, these are the Power Platform tools. This tool just performs automation. This tool performs applications. But you don't know the underneath layer, like whether this Power application can build applications which are enterprise wide if it has to deal with SAP ServiceNow. You don't know anything about that. So such agents can help those marketing specialists to add more reasoning, more detailed deep analysis for them, which is what deep reasoning does. It uses deep reasoning models. Now we'll close this section and we'll see few things here. Let's just go to the overview. In overview, you just find the name. You have to provide the name of the agent. Describe your agent, what this agent will do. Instructions instructions play an important role in your agentic lifecycle. What it helps you to do is it is not just about okay how my agent should respond back or how what should be the tone of my agent. No, it is no longer restricted to the tone, the behavior of the agent. It is also looking into your other things, which is okay, I want to build an agent which takes minimal input from my user and it performs the job on its own, just like autonomous agent. So to make any agent an autonomous behavior, you need to pass the detailed instruction. Along with the detailed instruction, you need to also enable the orchestration. Orchestration means, for example, I am adding 4 APIs here. 4 APIs are like 4 connectors, which is create, read, update, delete. I have just added those actions. Actions are nothing but the connectors. Connectors means, okay, create an item in the SharePoint list the item in the SharePoint list, delete a row from the list, and update. All those you have added explicitly as an action. Now, what you will do? I
Hello?
some issue with network. Not sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, it looks like some issue with the network today. So the orchestration, when you type in something and the intent should be picked up by the actions, those things you can put it under instructions. You need to pass on the detailed instructions so that, okay, whenever a user type in, okay, I want to create a project, I want to generate something, then the intent is to create the backend SharePoint list as a new row. You need to pass those instructions. When user says remove, delete, all those things should go ahead and trigger that action and it should delete a row from the SharePoint. Those instructions you can pass on. That is where instructions along with the orchestration plays an important role together. Traditionally, we had topics. Still, you can go ahead and use topics. Topics are nothing but a detailed orchestration of, okay, when a user says create, you need to trigger that create custom topic, and then you need to perform all these tasks or actions, and then you need to send the message and all those things. Those are still there. And additionally, in the topic, let's just go. As soon as you enable the generative AI, you will find this conversational boosting, wherein there is a new action which is now provided called as create generative answer. In the generative answer, these are the data sources. Now, right now, we are just using AI knowledge, which means if I say, help me provide the information about the best places in Saudi Arabia. I have not provided anything in this agent. Just I've enabled generative AI and just created the agent. Nothing else is in place. See, it is now able to, let's just wait. And what it is saying is, hey, these are the best places you can visit in Saudi Arabia, like Jeddah, Riyadh, Mecca, all these places. How this is getting the information? This information is being fetched. So let me just go to the track topic on. And now we can go to the topic. I just missed enabling that. Hence, you wouldn't have been observed. But it is going inside these generative answers. Inside these answers, you see this is enabled. Right now, it is using its own AI knowledge. Now, for some cases where you want your users to be very creative and they want to use AI, you can straight away toggle this on. But in the instructions, you can be very particular in terms of, okay, this agent, though AI is enabled, you should only help with art or science related things, but you should never ever talk about finance, talk about technology, talk about anything which is per se art. Anything apart from art, you should restrict informing to the end users or restrict sending it. All those things you can pass on to the instructions. You can straight away go ahead and do that. Now you will say, okay, I don't want to use AI knowledge. I want to use knowledge which is residing in my organization. Here comes add knowledge. Now add knowledge interface, you can use knowledge from the documentation which I was saying. You have detailed information about project. You can use that. Not just that, you can use public website, SharePoint, Search, Dataverse, SQL, all those, but also some advanced like Zendex and Search, which is recently made generally available. And in the see suggestions option, you'll see few more which are still not yet uh, generally available. Microsoft will soon make it available, but there are many more options which you will start seeing it. Now, in the suggested options, AI provides the most suggested knowledge sources like SharePoint or Excel or any of those. See, Dataverse, the public websites, and all those. It is going to provide the suggestions based on whatever you have developed in your tenant. These are those suggestions. You can add other knowledges, as I said, and let's say you don't want AI knowledge, you can toggle that off and you can enable this knowledge and you can add your own knowledge, either it is Dataverse or SharePoint or Excel, and you can allow only this knowledge to be used so that whenever your user queries or whenever this assistant is used, they'll only be able to query this information. And when I say query and fetching, that means retrieval. So right now what we just saw, we saw an example of retrieval, which is you are asking a query, you are asking something to generate and it is able to do that for you, which is the simplest retrieval agent. So agents are not just about retrieval. The agents can do more lot things like task, actions, or autonomous, which is also all the actions running autonomously. So such example is our plan-wise agent. Now this is my plan-wise agent. What I have done is I have enabled generative AI. I'll go to the generative AI. You see deep reasoning is enabled, image input is enabled. Nothing else is new here. Everything was same what we had in the last agent which we just created. Now, something which is new is knowledge. There was no knowledge previously. It was using AI knowledge. I have provided the detailed documentation of my project. So there is a project which I'm working on at my organization wherein we are trying to adopt Power Platform adoption journey. And for that, we have a detailed, there is a big team which is working on. They are using the detailed documentation. There is a detailed FAQ document, the chain log summary, who is working on what, all those things are there, right? And if you scroll down, you'll see that in the knowledge, I am just asking my agent that, hey, you are not supposed to use your knowledge. This is off. You need to use the knowledge which I am providing you to use, right? And what else? There is also orchestration which is enabled, right? Orchestration is enabled. Why? Because I am asking my agent to perform some actions. So these are the detailed instructions saying that, hey, you are a plan-wise agent, you need to follow these instructions. Instruction means whenever user queries intent with intent like generate more work items, create tasks, action items, project task or anything, you need to invoke this action. This action is nothing but our prompt which we just created. And let's go to the action. So this is my action. This action is sitting right inside my, let's just go. This is my Copilot Studio. In the library, you will find detailed actions or tools like Power Automate Flow, the prompt and everything. Okay, so this you see data was table, custom connector, the various connectors if I'm using any. I am using the action called prompt. So this is the prompt which I have built. As soon as I edit, you see this is the name of my action. Hit next. Here is your same interface which we just saw in the AI prompt. You are just going to do the exact same thing. It's taking some time because I've put a lot of instructions there. It is using to input the query, the knowledge, the same instruction, same model. Output is also same. Go ahead, hit next. It is saying, okay, these are the input name. Do you want to add any description? I say no. Output, okay, these are the configurations. These are the parameters which are created as this prompt is no longer going to be a prompt. This is now a connector and an action in turn. As soon as you hit next, nothing, just then publishing. So I am going to go back now. You now understood, right? I'm just adding that action. And let me go back. You can add a lot of other connectors. So whatever connectors right now you're using from your Power Automate, all those connectors, 1800 plus connectors are still available for you. You can go ahead and find those connectors inside here. All the connectors maybe you are not able to find because it is just showing top 10. You can say create a row and hit enter, and it will start showing all the connectors to you. See, all the connectors are putted. Whatever connectors you use in Power Automate, same connectors you'll find it here. Maybe I don't want this way, I want SharePoint, something related to SharePoint only. You search by SharePoint, you search by OneDrive, you'll find all the connectors for that particular service here. Okay. Similarly, I just searched for my all, and you can search. Now I can search for project assistant. And it will show my actions. And whenever you create these prompt from the library, that sits under Dataverse. Hence, all the prompts will be like Dataverse. So whatever you see with the Dataverse icon, it should be there. Prompt, project assistant. Let's complete that and hit enter. This works a bit slow for everyone, so you need to be mindful. And it will start showing, but it is taking some time. Let's not waste time there. This is the action. And all I have done is I need to now configure the action with input and output. Okay. I'm not going to ask users anything. This should run autonomously whenever user types in query related to the intent which we just saw in the instruction. This is the name of how my agent will be invoked. This is the action name, and these are the inputs. These are the two inputs, and I am saying that no, this shouldn't be dynamic. This shouldn't be static. This should be dynamic based on whatever user queries in and whatever knowledge I have passed in. So you see this input is configured as dynamic of type dynamic, these two, and these are the output, one output, which is a response. Now, let me hit a prompt saying that create work item for project Power Platform adoption. I have not created any topic, nothing. There is no topic, one custom topic, but that is still off because I want to show you through topic as well. Now it is asking me that, okay, knowledge, provide me the knowledge. Ideally, it shouldn't have asked. So let's go ahead and refresh this for a second. It should not ask knowledge because we have passed in the instruction that, hey, you need to use the knowledge which is provided as knowledge source. Let's give it a minute to load. Okay, why this is unknown? Some issue. This should be in the ready state. It was in the ready state just some time back. I refreshed this again. Okay. So now let's take a look at the completed action just so that I can show you. See, this is how it ideally works. It dynamically takes the input, whatever user prompts or prompt is, it takes the knowledge, it summarizes it, and it uses that to provide the detailed text. Now, if you want what the response was, which was pasted in the chat, just check this. This was the response. It says based on the provided project documentation, these are the owner, these are the due date, the status, the notes, and these are the tasks. It has provided in the tabular format, just like how we wanted. And where this is written in the instructions again. Something is wrong with my knowledge. It has not yet refreshed. This was in the refresh state, but it is in unknown, hence it is not able to pick the knowledge up, but it will work. You just saw that, right? It was working just few minutes back for me. And what is this activity? This activity is just whatever test cases you perform, all those gets logged as each activity. So this is how you can keep a track of how many number of tasks were completed, which were abandoned, or all those things. You can find detailed logs maintaining the activity. In analytics, you'll see the detailed analytics of Right now, this is not published, hence you're not able to see the analytics. But if I pick any of the published one, you'll see the rate of engagement, where all the generative answers were used, all those SLAs, detailed activities you can see in the analytics tab. This whole in soul summarizes our project management assistant. One last important bit which I would want to emphasize on, which I have not yet demonstrated, that is deep reasoning. Now let's say I have this knowledge, I am a project manager, and I want to analyze whether there is any risk, potential risk in my project, so that I can upfront know which stakeholders should I start talking to. So let's just see if this works. Are there any potential risks for the project Power Platform adoption? As the knowledge is not yet refreshed, so I'm doubtful, but let's wait. Okay. See, it is able to capture the risks. There are some potential risks which it is saying, like data loss, lack of training. This needs to be, you need to keep this upfront, but the citation is from the knowledge. Now the knowledge is working. So this is how you can also use deep reasoning. I'll go back to my slides now, and I've covered everything. This everything I have covered through our slides. I want to show this. This deep reasoning I mentioned, this is how whenever your agent will reason, whenever you ask a question where reasoning is needed, it will show something, reason with advanced model, where it uses advanced model. And I have asked the same question of risks and analysis. It reasoned and it provided detailed information on what risks are there for this project and how I can mitigate that. So this was for the exact demo which I showed. Right now it was trying to generate from our knowledge. This covers everything about agent. Now you know what the secret sauce is for your agent. It is your AI, the deep reasoning, the custom AI prompt. So if, for example, whatever knowledge you are providing, that can be used for retrieval. But let's say I want to do some tasks which are specific to the instruction, specific to the text, specific to the image or something. That is where you need to use your custom AI prompt. So custom AI prompt is a secret sauce which can weave or which can join the dots, not just with your Copilot Studio, which we just saw. I use the custom AI prompt in Copilot Studio, but you can do that same thing in your Power Automate flow as well. You can fetch the detailed information in your Power Automate flow. You can send out an email. You can do all those things. Also, you can use this in Power Apps. So you can use prompt across Studio, apps, and also your Automate. So it is not just with your agent. You can also have that in your automations as well, wherein just like how you are using our AI prompt as an assistant, you can use that straight away as well. So this covers your whole and soul AI journey of Power Platform, wherein I created a use case on automation. And right now I'm not creating a task in DevOps, but you can straight away do that. All you need to do is just create an action of DevOps, create a task. I will just straight away search by Azure DevOps. It takes a lot of time to load. And you will start seeing all the connectors, and with the connectors as action and instruction, it will create a task for you. Whatever was generated, it will start creating for you. So you can create a work item. All those actions just needs configuration like input, output, how you do in Power Automate. Same thing, you have to do it here. You have to just upgrade your instruction so that this action gets called out and it do its job and it creates a work item. So this is how you can build a use case, an enterprise-wide agent, which will help your project managers or legal team. Any use case you can take it up. Okay, so this covers our today's session, and I want you all to go ahead and start building such cases for your enterprise-wide by going ahead and trying it out on Copilot Studio. Thank you so much, everyone, for patiently listening. I know there were some network glitches in the middle, but sorry for that. And thank you so much for staying till the end.